Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel and another top 5 for you guys. This time we are looking at the top 5 most played tanks. Well, the top 5 most popular tanks in the game for the last update. Obviously, we've got the new, well, not the newer update, but the previous update, not the update we're on now, but the previous update. For the whole entire update, these are the most popular tanks. Now, coming in at number 5, it is the Grizzly at 3.13 million people played this tank over the last update. So yeah, it's quite a lot. It is quite a lot. It's been a popular tank for a little while, to be honest, because of mainly the fact that it was a free tank. So yeah, I mean, I like doing these videos because a lot of the time with the most popular tanks, they vary from update to update. You know, the last video I done, we had the Frosty, which of course was given away over Christmas. And it was pretty much the most popular tank in the game, like completely. So yeah, I do like doing these, keeping you guys updated of what tank is being played and if there is a good reason. So the Grizzly, yeah, it's okay. I mean, it is nothing really too bad about the tank. There's nothing special about the tank, but ultimately it was a free tank, and that is why people have been playing it. So moving on to tank number 4. Tank number 4, we've got another tank, another regular. It is the Tiger 1. Now, I was a little bit wrong where I just said the Grizzly was 3.13 million players. It's actually 3.13 million battles, not players. So the Tiger 1, as I've said, it's always up there. It's a very, very popular tank. It's unique. It's one of the most famous tanks in the world, if not the most famous tank in the world. It's only a little bit above the Grizzly as well. So the Grizzly's tier 4. This is tier 7. The Grizzly had 3.13 million. This has 3.39 million battles played in the last update. It's a very popular tank. It's got made better over the years, and yeah, it is a fun tank to play. The armor profile is okay if you play it right, but really the whole line, the Tiger 1, the tech tree line is one of the best in the game. So yeah, people only really want to play the Tiger 1 because of its history, but because they're playing the Tiger 1, ultimately the tanks above it and the tanks below it will be popular as well, because of course they've got to grind it and they're not just going to stick to the Tiger 1. So yeah, the Tiger 1, it's a very, very good tier 7. The DPM's pretty good and the armor is okay. It's not the best, but it is okay. And the speed is really, really good, and I generally love playing the Tiger 1. So yeah, I'm not surprised it's still up there in the top 5 or top 4, and I think it will continue to be in that top 5 for a very, very long time to come. So moving on to tank number 3. And of course it's the E100. As we've just said, with the Tiger 1, I think the E100 is popular because of the Tiger 1. Now again, I've only recently made a video on the E100, how people play it wrong, and they should learn how to play the E100. Not because that's shockingly bad or shit, it's just if they learn to play it, they will enjoy the tank more, because it is a fantastic tank. I love the E100. Now, whereas the Tiger 1 had 3.39 million battles, this has 3.55 million battles over the last update. So very, very close. So it's still a popular tank. It is in the top 3, and yeah, I do understand the reasoning by it, but most of them battles played probably haven't been that successful, but as I've said in my video, like, just learn how to play the tank, because once you do, honestly, you will enjoy the tank a lot more, because I love it. I absolutely love the E100, and yeah, hopefully you guys that don't really know how to play it can learn how to play it, and then you will enjoy it a lot more as well. So moving on to tank number 2. Now, this tank hasn't actually been in the top 5 for a long time, but it's made its way back. It is, of course, the KV2. Now, where we're looking at the most played tanks, or the most popular tanks in the last update. Even though the KV2 hasn't been in the top 5 for a while now, I still think overall, if we had that stats, if we had the stats where the overall, you know, we've only got the stats, or we can only see the stats over the last update, or if you go to BlitzStars, over the last 90 days. However, if we do manage, if Wargaming release the stats of the most popular tank all time, I honestly think this will be up there. Whether or not it be number 1 or not, I don't know, but I think it will definitely be top 2. Either this, you got the Tiger 1, and of course you have the Death Star as well, which all three are very, very, very popular. So yeah, I do honestly think that the KV2, it might nick it, you know. I think it could even be the most popular tank ever in World of Tanks Blitz. Nowadays, it's not as good. I mean, you just see the one shot we had on the buggy. Yeah, you can't do that often now, and yeah, it's sad. It is sad because people want to do them one shots. They want to have the big alpha, the Amarax, and the KV2 still can do that, but just not as good as it used to do. So KV2 number 2 at 3.77 million. So all the 4 tanks that we've just looked at are pretty close, to be fair. They are pretty close, but excuse me, but yeah, number 2 is the KV2. Let's see what is the most popular tank at the moment. Of course it is. It is the Death Star. I mean, you saw this coming from a mile away. As I've just said with the KV2, this has got to be up there in the top 3 most played tanks all time. Doesn't mean it's a good tank, because I mean you can have fun, but also it is the most frustrating tank in the game. When you could do that 1200 damage into the side of the Leopard 1, then yeah, you love it. But when you have them shots and you completely miss because the accuracy, the aim time is all poor, and again, when you can have shots like this, yeah, you love it, you know. That's 2 shots, 2.5k damage. Doesn't matter now if he dies. He's done his damage. Now, the KV2 at number 2 is 3.77 million battles played in the last update. However, if you think that's a lot, the 183 has 5.46 million battles played. That is a massive difference, you know. The other 4, you know, if you look at the Grizzly at 3.13, and then you look at the KV2 at second at 3.77, there's not a lot of difference between 5th and 2nd, and then you get the 183 at 5.5 million. 5.46 million battles played over the last update. It's always going to be up there. Whenever I make these videos, I reckon there's going to be 2 or 3 possibly different, but this one is always going to be up there at number 1 or number 2. But next up, we're going to, well, maybe not next up, but we're now then going to look at the top 5 most played tier 10s. So we've had a look now at the top 5 most played tanks in the game. We're next going to look at the top 5 most played tier 10s. What are those tier 10s people grind? That will be coming up shortly. So for now, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye bye.